Who?
I could retire and be the curator of this place.
You know, I really think you might.
This long-running sci-fi program has been on for decades, and it really went all out for its 50th anniversary.
I never forget a face.
I know you don't. And in years to come, you might find yourself revisiting a few, but just the old favorites, eh?
One of the biggest surprises, though, was the cameo appearance of Tom Baker, one of the most popular actors to play the Doctor, who returned as an apparent future incarnation of the character.
If I were you... Oh, if I were you... oh, perhaps I was you, of course.
Baker slides into the role like he never left, delivering some cryptic advice to Matt Smith's Doctor about what his future has in store, while also being tremendously charming, funny, and heartwarming. That "who knows" joke is classic.
Or perhaps it doesn't matter either way. Who knows? Who knows?
Number 9. Suzanne Pleshette, Newhart. The series finale of Newhart is pretty bizarre, with the whole town being turned into a golf course resort. However, that pales in comparison to the ending.
You're all crazy!
After protagonist Dick Loudon is hit on the head by a golf ball, Bob Newhart's previous character, Bob Hartley from The Bob Newhart Show, wakes up in bed with his wife Emily, with Suzanne Pleshette reprising her role from that show. The duo discusses Newhart as being an odd dream that Hartley had.
I was an innkeeper in this crazy little town in Vermont.
I'm happy for you.
Oft imitated, this finale and cameo are positively legendary. Number 8. William Shatner, Third Rock from the Sun. The aliens masquerading as humans that make up the main case of this sitcom take their orders from a being called the Big Giant Head. Naturally, there was only one actor with the sci-fi cred and the ego to fill the role, William Shatner.
I'm back! Bring it in!
The Big Giant Head makes several appearances on the show, shaking up the unit's roles, impregnating their landlady's daughter, singing, and even paying hilarious homage to his and John Lithgow's part on The Twilight Zone.
I saw something on the wing of the plane. The same thing happened to me!
Sure, he's a bit more recurring than most of our other entries, but Shatner does tend to, take up more space than you might think.
What is that?
It's called the Shatner. Now go on.
Number 7. Cher, Will and Grace.
A word of advice, Will. Don't dismiss things you know nothing about.
Will and Grace features a ton of great cameos, and while we were tempted to include Elton John's, we had to give our pick to Cher. Jack is completely obsessed with the singer, to the point where he even made a doll of her, which he talks to.
You know, dude, it is a little weird that you're talking to my doll.
Things get awkward though when he meets the real deal but mistakes her for a drag queen, even if he does think she pulls it off.
I do a better Cher than you.
You think so?
Actually, it's... You think so? Ho!
Cher appears a second time, this time in a dream Jack has, in which he sees Cher as the incarnation of God.
Don't ever stop dancing, Jack. Don't ever stop dancing. Show business needs you.
These cameos are so good, we wish we could turn back time just to experience them for the first time all over again. Number 6. Dwayne Johnson, That 70s Show. The Rock may be a huge movie star now, but at the time of this cameo, Dwayne Johnson was still best known for his wrestling career.
Watch Rocky Johnson take on 20 snarling midgets. Now back to the action.
Rocky Johnson's coming to Kenosha? Oh man, we gotta go.
It's fitting then that his appearance in That 70s Show is also that of a wrestler. However, he doesn't play just any wrestler. The Rock cameos as his own father, Rocky Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you gave that team of midgets an ass whooping, sir.
Well, you pile drive a little guy, and the whole crowd turns on you. And then when you're standing there wondering what they're booing about, you get bit on the kneecaps. Look at my knees.
Not only is that a fun tribute by a son to his father, but Johnson also agrees to some father and son autographs for Eric and Red Foreman backstage.
Yeah, it's really nice, bringing your kid to a wrestling match. You know, I got a son, and one day, he's gonna become the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
He even speaks about his own son, himself in other words, and his hopes that he'll be the most electrifying man in entertainment. A promise that he has certainly lived up to. Number 5. Katie Sackhoff, The Big Bang Theory. Given how entwined the show is with geek culture, The Big Bang Theory has unsurprisingly had a ton of cameos.
Let me guess. You like Star Wars.
While we considered James Earl Jones' appearance, we didn't give in to the dark side and went with this one instead.
So nice you could join me this evening. You're looking lovely as always.
Thanks, Howard. Always nice to be part of your masturbatory fantasies.
Katie Sackhoff is best known for her role on Battlestar Galactica and appears several times in cameos in Howard Wolowitz's Fantasies.
Why am I wearing my Battlestar Galactica flight suit in bed?
Why are you in bed with me? If we start to question this, it all falls apart.
While her appearances often begin as eye candy for Howard, they soon shift tone, as Sackhoff gives him advice on his relationship with his girlfriend Bernadette, and on one occasion was even assisted by George Takei. Talk about weirdly awesome crossovers.
Trust me, she's ready. Make the move.
No, no, no. A lady wants to be wooed.
Number 4. Stephen Hawking, Star Trek: The Next Generation. While this brilliant physicist is another celebrity to cameo on The Big Bang Theory, we're boldly going with this cameo instead.
The day that apple fell on my head was the most momentous day in the history of science.
Not the apple story again.
In the futuristic setting of Star Trek, the holodeck allows for all manner of historical figures to be recreated using holograms and force fields. Although plenty have appeared over the years, few of them have been played by the actual people they represent, as Stephen Hawking did.
I raise 50.
Blast. I fold.
The Holo Hawking is created by the android Data, along with Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton, who pits the three titans of science against each other in a game of poker. Naturally, Hawking wins. You just can't beat that poker face.
You are bluffing, and you will lose.
Wrong again, Albert.
Number 3. The cast of Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Michael? Yeah. Love the entrance. That slide, it's working.
Well, it's making me a bit dizzy, but I'll do anything for you, Larry.
Given that Larry David plays a fictional version of himself on this long-running series, it naturally has a ton of cameos by celebrities.
I trust you. I'm telling you, it's gonna be funny.
And what about that story you were telling about George would have an ex-wife?
Yeah.
You know, it would be great for that is Meg Ryan.
However, the most epic is easily the running cameos of the cast members of Seinfeld in Season 7, which David co-created.
I will play George Costanza. I can do it. I know I can.
Right.
I wrote it. The character's based on me. There were 2 Darrens.
Yeah.
On Bewitched.
Nobody liked that second Darren.
Fans have wanted a Seinfeld reunion pretty much since the finale aired, so seeing the actors gather again for a fictional reunion episode inside a real TV season was an absolute treat.
George.
Hey!
How are you?
It may not have been the reunion we wanted, but it was definitely the one that we needed. Number 2. Michael Jackson, The Simpsons. Given that it's been on forever, The Simpsons has had plenty of celebrity guests, but one of its more memorable cameos is by Michael Jackson.
Hi, I'm Michael Jackson from The Jacksons.
I'm Homer Simpson from The Simpsons.
After Homer is committed to a mental institution, he meets the King of Pop, who looks nothing like he does on TV.
What was that last one?
Thriller.
Nope.
Well, how about this?
Billie Jean is not my lover.
However, thanks to his dulcet tones, Bart is convinced, and altogether, he and Jackson write Lisa a memorable birthday song.
You gave me the gift of a little sister, and I'm proud of you today.
This is pretty ironic, considering Jackson didn't perform any of the songs in the episode himself, though he did write the Happy Birthday Lisa tune. Instead, because of contractual obligations, and to mess with Jackson's brothers, a sound-alike was used for his singing voice, and he was credited under a pseudonym. And no, it wasn't Leon Kompowski.
All my life I was very angry, until one day I just
talked like this.
Number 1. Brad Pitt, Friends. Another show that saw its fair share of celebrity cameos, Friends had us really tempted to choose Bruce Willis. But as much of a love machine as he is, Brad Pitt showing up just got more of a reaction out of us, and the audience, judging by the decibel level when he comes on screen.
Hey!
Pitt plays Will, an old friend of Ross and Monica's who visits the siblings for Thanksgiving.
Typical of you, Rachel Green. Queen Rachel does whatever she wants in the little Rachel land.
Oddly enough, despite Pitt being married to actress Jennifer Aniston at the time, Will hates her character Rachel, revealing that he and Ross started a rumor about her at school.
The rumor was that you had both male and female reproductive parts.
While the rumor itself certainly hasn't aged well, Pitt's cameo remains an epic part of the sitcom.